Hey, yo, peace, world. It's the Love King of R&B, Raheem DeVaughn. And you know I got soul, yeah. My outlook coming to this album was very focused. Although I had major success in the music business, I feel like I'm still very much a baby in the game. I still feel like I'm a fetus in this. When you talk about artists like Roy Ayers, Quincy Jones, James Brown, Ray Charles, Tupac, Shakur, they still think Pac is alive. Based on the catalog, he recorded so much music. It's still new music coming out and stuff like that. So, I just strive to be great. This album, believe it or not, was not just about this album. It's about the catalog I'm sitting on, and what this album represents, and the new dawn of a new age and a new decade. Not only for me, but music changes, man, constantly. Every 2-3 years, sonically, it just goes just in different directions, But I was more, and I'm always more concerned about consistency, and that's the main focus. Making this album, just being consistent. I remain inspired. When you talk about the music that I make and how inspired I am versus what you may encounter, or you just feel like, some of these artists have lack of inspiration. Here it is, man. I'm not Kanye West crazy, but I am Kanye West crazy about music, if that makes sense, right? On a serious note, I love the art form. I love everything that comes with the creating of it, the backlog of the paperwork and stuff that we have to do at times, and all that stuff, man. It's like, the process is the process, the crossing of the T's and dotting of the I, calling the lawyers, tracking artists down to get the release, and just the whole thing that comes with it, from the time that the song is conceived. Being involved in my business directly, I get to see what, I do what most artists don't do. You know what I'm saying? And start the process from beginning to end. So by the time the album comes out, it's like, it's a breath of fresh air. I did it. You know what I mean? And then the pat on the back starts. When you get the top 5s and the top 10s and the number 1s, and you get to talk to fans directly who are just listening to it for the first time. That's the thing I love about social media. Well, I'm not afraid. This is a decade of domination for me musically. You know what I'm saying? In my mindset, I always came into the game with the last man standing effect. You know what I mean? So, I'm that guy that when we start the race and we start the lap and we start the distant run, that I just want to, once they say on your mark, get set, go, in my mind, I'm just going to keep running until everybody run out of gas. New advice that I would give to new artists coming up in the music business, be yourself, man. Be a student of the culture. Don't be afraid to experiment. Don't be afraid to collab. Everything ain't about the dollar. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's about the experience. Sometimes it's about the relationships. A lot of times I'll tell artists, man, let's get together. Let's work. It's not about it. It's not about a dollar. It ain't gonna cost you nothing but some time. Time is the most valuable thing we have. Next to relationships and our name and our respect and our word. Yeah, you do what what I recommend them to go independent or rock with the major is really based on your circumstances and what your personal agenda is. Like, when I signed with Job, I always knew that I would be independent again. Like, I didn't realize it would be that quick, but that was the goal. You know what I'm saying? That was the goal. I could definitely have more fun and owning the master and, a portion of the master, and controlling the art, you know what I'm saying, and controlling the narrative is what's the most important thing for me. The takeaways that I took away from Jive is this is never just keep pushing myself. There was a person named Jeff Finster who I recently tracked down. I owe him a phone call, but he said something so profound to me. While I was working with while I was working on the Love Behind the Melody album, and he challenged me in a way that nobody had ever challenged me. You know what I'm saying? And he said some things with me that stuck with me. That to this day I go through these albums and I listen to see like what's missing. You know what I mean? I try to hear what's missing, not what's there, but what's missing. So it's how to make a record, man. How to make an album. That's what I learned. And how to have fun doing it too. That's what I would take away from that whole job experience. What do I want people to take away from this Decade of a Love King album? What's the experience I'm trying to create? I'm just trying to create that organic connection between human beings, man. That's it. You know what I'm saying? It's something real. something real, something genuine. If it's dealing with a matter of the heart, fight for it, and you know, and make love not war, man. You know me, always a modern day hippie. Love life.